Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. And today I'm so happy that I finally have my friend, super talented Carpenter, DJ, awesome human being, Jewelz. Thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's been a couple years in the making.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It took a while.
It's nice. It's nice to be here.
So yeah, I wanna dive right into the carpentry thing.
Cool.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I want to be a carpenter. When? How?
Okay, so it actually wasn't always that. I thought I wanted to do welding. And when I went into the Women Unlimited program at NSCC, they take you through all the trades. And I was so adamant that I was going to make money and be this avid welder. And then I got into the welding shop and I just realized I wasn't going to be happy. I was going to make money for sure, but I wouldn't be happy doing and I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? Like,
what didn't you like about welding?
it's just not something that brought me joy. Like, when I just felt like a robot a little bit. Like, the way that the teachers were, they just didn't give me like a warm vibe, and I felt super lost. And then the next week we went into the carpentry shop, and that smell of wood and it just was like something in my brain clicked, and I did all the research about it, and they make you do all the labor market information, make sure that you're choosing the right career for you. And the more that I did info on it, the more that I was like, I've loved building things since I was a child, and I've loved being outdoors, and it's just something about it. I don't know. And my mom, when I told her, she like, oh my God, no, wait. And like dug through all of my childhood things. And like one of the first things that I like wrote about what I wanted to be in the future was a carpenter.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure I spelled it like so wrong. And I was like, oh wow, look at that. Like I changed a million times. I wanted to be an astronaut and all, but it was cool to see little me like felt the same thing that I'm feeling now again as an adult.
Yeah. What is the Women Unlimited program?
It is a program that started as a not NSCC program, but then NSCC kind of took it over. So now they're trying to expand it to multiple locations, but basically it just is a free program for women who want to get into the trades. It helps you choose a trade, helps you do all kinds of things for like your resume building, confidence building, and by the end of the 3-month program, you get to choose any of the trades NSCC offers. You skip the wait period, which is huge because sometimes you have to wait for like a year or two to like get in.
Holy smokes!
It's kind of a game changer because there's not a lot of women in the trades.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important for women to get out there into the trades because I think it's just such a sausage party, and it doesn't have to be. Like if you really want the job done right, you need to work as a team and have multiple people from different backgrounds in order to really like succeed. If you just have a bunch of the same, it's just not as fun at the end of the day. I don't know. I just like to see women in trades.
Wow. So carpentry and I guess how was the training for you?
NSCC offers quite it's like a good intro to carpentry, but at the end of the day, like you can learn carpentry from a textbook, but until you're out there in the field carrying the 2x4s and cutting and actually building, then you're not gonna learn. You're going to know the safety stuff to prepare you so that you don't cut your fingers off and shoot yourself with a nail gun, which did happen to me actually.
No.
One of my students, my classmates shot me this year in October because you are working with power tools and dangerous tools, and like he just shot it wrong, and my arm just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No.
When I was working over the summer, a guy that I was working with shot himself twice over the summer.
What the hell?
And like these are like pressurized, like, nail guns. Like it's not something to be. So the going to the program is nice because it prepares you for, hey, don't be a dumbass. And it just kind of gives you more of a foot in the door if, say, your parents didn't teach you carpentry as a kid, or you didn't have, your dad as a carpenter. You're kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage if you don't know any of the terms or anything at all. So to go into NSCC knowing nothing, you come out pretty confident at the end of the day. It's worth it.
And then what's the next step after that? After the Women Unlimited program?
I actually just got accepted to Nova Scotia's apprenticeship.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
So that's pretty much the next step for most trades, although it's optional. Like if you wanted to go to that route and get your Red Seal certification, that's your next step. But you don't have to.
Wait, sorry, what's Red Seal?
Red Seal is for trades you work towards getting your certification. Just kind of like...
basically, you know your shit.
Exactly. Carpentry is a non-compulsory trade, so you don't need to go to school. So like welding and electrical, they're compulsory trades, so you need to have your ticket, your training in order, because you're working with a lot more like electricity and fire. And so about carpentry, you don't have to get a certificate to say that you can be anyone can be a carpenter. But to have your Red Seal as a carpenter, it means you've worked and done the work, done the research and studied, and you know your stuff. And that's ultimately where I would like to see myself, not just...
How long does it take to get there?
Roughly 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
It's like 7,400 hours.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, and then training.
How do they count that time? Like, is it while you're in school, while you're working? Like,
once you're done the NSCC, then you're working. And you're in apprenticeship, but you're working. An apprenticeship agreement, a workplace kind of has to agree with you to take you on and trade and teach you trades and the skills that you needed to go back to apprenticeship. It's like 8 weeks of school, and your work lets you go, and then you come back and you start your next block, and it's a process. Then you can challenge to do your big ICF exam, like the Red Seal exam.
What is it written?
It is written. It's all, okay. I guess it's a big, and we're, as tradespeople, we're not really like desk people. So
right. Like, I thought, okay, so you write it, and then, do you have to build something?
I think that's more the skills competition. And like that's if you wanted to go and like sort of boast about what you build, but that's where your workplace, there's certain skills that as you're working, they sign off on, and then apprenticeship.
You can do this.
And apprenticeship is like, yeah, all right, takes your employee's word for it.
And then, like, what do you, like, during the apprenticeship, what do you usually have to build?
There's a couple things in the skills that basically just, you need to know your framing, you need to know your concrete work, you need to be able to lay form work for concrete.
Wait, sorry, concrete?
Concrete is a big part of carpentry because you need to be able to build on something, right? You need to know how to pour concrete, lay it level. All foundation work is done. You need to have there's so much to carpentry.
Right.
That's why I love it, because I'm never going to be bored. there's quite
so much to do. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. But then you have the skills to build this chair you've always wanted to build too, right?
Or if I want to build if I'm like, I have so many more plants that I have now. I'm like, I need to build a plant shelf. And I just go outside and I just build a shelf. Or someone, hey, I need help, my drywall is leaking. I'm like, oh my God, let's go over and I'll tear that out with you. Like, it's just nice to be able to have a skill that's like not just something I do at work.
Right.
For so long I was like a waitress and a bartender or this or that, and it's just something to do to make money.
Right.
But I genuinely nerd out and enjoy about the thermal envelope of a house.
What?
it's how moisture is created by humans and living in it, and there's so many processes that go through engineered products to make houses, more eco-friendly and sustainable. And I don't know, I just nerd out about that stuff more so than like I would about, welding a ship hull. Like everyone has their little things that they
Right, that's true. That's
nerd out
true.
about.
Holy shit.
It's carpentry is it for me.
And then, so you are going the red seal route, right?
I did get accepted to apprenticeship, and that is what I'm going to go for. But once I get that red seal, I might try to go more so to home inspection, a little bit more safety. I know people in the trades are going to hate me for wanting to be a safety person, but
Why?
well, when I'm 60 years old, I don't really see myself carrying, 16-foot 2x10s. Like I do see myself carrying a clipboard and
This is not working.
but everyone, you have to think about not just 5 years and 10 years, but also 20 years down the road. Like, I'm already feeling it in my knees, and I've only been doing it for about 2 years. It is the wear and tear on your body. So
apart from the nail gun, what other tools do you need?
oh my God. Table saw, chop saw, you need a vehicle. And cause
it has to be a truck.
like you can have a car for sure, but like you need to be able to get from site to site. You need to have like you need a drill, impact.
Wait, what is the second impact?
An impact is like a drill impact driver. It's kind of like a drill and driver are two different tools, but they're like the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Like they're both called drills, but like a drill is more so for like puncturing in things, and an impact's more for like securing screws.
Wow.
And unscrewing. There's so many tools of the trade. I've already spent quite a bit of money.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. So you have to get your own tools and stuff.
You don't really have to, depending on your workplace, but I know I want to have my own tool. I don't want to use anyone else's tools.
Why?
Well, if you break it, you buy it.
Oh.
I mean, not everybody does, but I have respect. And I'm, I just feel weird about using other people's things. I've always felt like if you go into someone's house and they're like, oh yeah, just go in there, cupboard and get it. I'm like, can you just get it? I don't want to go through your stuff.
Right.
It's just nice having your own things. If something goes missing, I'm like, oh, I lost that. Not, oh, someone broke this on me. And I think that part plays into being an only child. I've never had siblings. I've only ever had my own things. And my parents' things were their things and my things were my things. So there's a lot of things I wish I had siblings for. As an only child, you feel so much more just like alone, I guess. Not that that's a bad thing. Being alone isn't a bad thing, but there's little things I've noticed. I'm just like a little bit more like, I'll share, but then I'm like, give that back after a couple days. Where my friend, like my really close friends who have siblings, they're like, oh yeah, you take that shirt. And I'm like, no, I'll get it back to you. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, I see a difference of like vibes a little bit. So I like having my own tools. Then after work, if I need to go do something on my own time, I have everything I need.
There you go. Okay, so all these tools you have, you were able to pick your top 3. What would they be?
An oscillating saw.
Oh, that's the circle one.
And it's I call it a cock buzzer. It goes nee. It's just a little. I just love it. I just personally love it. Circular saw.
What would you use it for?
You'd use it for like if you made a little mistake and you just wanted to add, like it's kind of like it's like a fast way to sand stuff off.
Oh,
just kind of get in there. My teacher at school, he hates an oscillating saw. He says that if you're a good carpenter, you don't need one, which is true
because it fixes things. Okay,
exactly. But I like it. They're like it's like a little sneaky tool to like help you. Like it, I just enjoy it. Yeah, impact and a circular saw. It's really
so circular saw is that one.
Yeah, you can get them in like 6.5 or 7 1/4.
That thing is scary looking, and I think it's because as a kid I watched a movie where they dropped someone on it. I can't remember what the movie was, but that like it's one of, I just think it's not a good way to go.
And they're scary. They're scary. I mean, they cut things.
Really? Like, and then, you know, when they just slide the thing. Is there a particular way you have to hold wood when you're...
Yeah, so when there's actually defects in wood, that there's certain...
What is...
So you can have like a twist or a bend or a wind or a crown, like a crown in a wood, because like all wood is manufactured from trees. So when you have them in a mill, like there's certain ways that they cut up the trees, but then sometimes you're going to get a wood that's slightly bowed like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have it up on a table saw, you want to put it up against the crown. And there's like just little things about when you go to school, you learn these things. And when you're with a Red Seal carpenter who's done the proper training, you learn the proper ways to do things, to hold the wood 6 inches back from the blade, to use the push sticks, and to be safe instead of...
So literally they stick to push instead of using your hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's so many older guys that have been at it, and like, you know, if they're like, you show their fingers and they're missing their fingertips and stuff, and it just...
No.
It happens so easily and so fast.
Right, yeah, because it's like right there.
Just makes me like creepy.
So what would you use that saw for? The circular saw, yeah?
Circular saw, you can just use it to just cut just super fast. Table saw, use it to like rip longer sections of wood, and it's just, there's so many things you can build with them, but it really does take having a shop, having a space. These are, like a table saw is a big tool, and then it creates a lot of sawdust, you know, like that's, so like I'm moving into an apartment April 1st, and it's like a nice new building. And I'm like, I don't really have the ability to have like a workshop. So for me to be able to have a workplace where, you know, I can still just, if need be and any needed, I'm sure that they would let me use there. But it's, you see these reels of people and they have just huge workstations in their garages. And I'm like, that's what I want.
Down the road, of course.
Oh, yeah. Down the road, but like hopefully sooner than later. Oh, man.
Okay. So picture your ideal shop. What would you have in there?
Oh, definitely a beer fridge. Beer fridge. I would have a planer, because a planer, like you can run stuff through and make it like nice, the thickness. And you can just, like, I could make chessboards, cooking, chopping blocks, and like that shit just sells so fast. And like, it's just, even like you can make like epoxy pours, and you can do crazy, like you could put like little Star Wars things and pour it in so it looks like it's like, you know, like a TIE fighter chase, and then you can make it like a table, sells thousands of dollars. And it's just something so creative to make, and there's so many things you can do. Like the possibilities are endless, and that goes with any material. But like, I guess, I don't know, I just like wood. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but like, and the other, I mean, they're both true. So sorry, Mom. She knows me. Like, she knows. And I just, it's just such a creative outlet. It's something the shop would, there would also be a lot of car stuff, because I have a truck, and like, just to be able to have your own space to just do shop stuff. I think that's like good for people's mental health. Like I see these ads for apartments, and it's, you know, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, so tiny, you're crammed in there, like 7 floors up. I'm like, that's not living, man. Like, you know, you need to be able to like have some grass, like that. At least that's just me. Like,
no, I think that's most people. Because you need to breathe it. Like, especially now that the weather is...
Grab my water bottle.
Okay, wait.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It didn't fall.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You good? Okay.
I have dry mouth, and like I talk, and then I'm like...
I need my water.
My mouth's like turning into like a puckered butthole.
Okay. Yeah, no, so like I've just been going down this rabbit hole with you of making... of woodwork and
My
carpentry and dreams, of course. But like, yeah, you also like you mentioned towards the end that it's good for mental health. Mental health advocacy is something that is really important to you, and I'm curious why.
Why mental health is important to me? I mean, other than me personally suffering and being not mentally okay for most of my childhood, I've seen so many of my close friends, my family struggle from just poor mental health, and myself included. And it's just so easy to spiral and not get out of bed, not take care of yourself, not want to do anything, not want to unfortunately live anymore. That's a reality of the world we live in, is that dark place is something that mental health, if you're not taking care of your physical health, your body's you're gonna feel it, and your brain is the exact same way. And what a difference in my life when I started taking strides personally, not just the court mandated therapy that was forced upon me to deal with like the stuff that was happening when I was a child. But once I started seeking a therapist that I chose for myself, because I researched them on like what I wanted to talk about, and I started addressing topics, and started improving everything about my life. It's all about your way of thinking. Like if you wake up and you're like, today's going to be a bad day, probably you're not going to have a good day. But if you wake up and you tell yourself, you know what, today's going to be a good day. Even if it's raining out, even if you woke up and you have no gas, and if you're positive that's going to be a good day, you're going to find something good in that day. And it's just about having that healthy mental thought process on your health and your outlook on life. And that's really important, because I don't know, I hate seeing people sad. Makes me sad. Like, I'm very an empathetic person though, so like there's so much hurt and pain in the world, and like mental health is just not to say that it's self-inflicted, but there's a lot of things you can do to yourself to improve things, where there's so many things in the world that you can't improve. Just, if you focus on the things you can fix, if you focus on the problems of the house you can fix, then you will get paid. It's like, it's all that sort of same fix-it mentality, I guess.
I see. And, how did you mentioned when you were at a place where you're the one that chose, like what were the decisions that went into choosing the therapy, and what was that process of choosing the therapist for you?
The process was looking into the windows of my soul, because for so long it was like, oh, you're depressed and you're anxious, or your parents you're going through these traumas, and they kind of pigeonholed me into that. But when I started to look more so for people who weren't necessarily for just kind of getting you through, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but like if you look in a therapist's description, they give like a nice bio, and they kind of touch on what they want or what they know that they're confident in to be able to help you. And like the one that I chose, she touched on not only eating disorders, but like sexual assault problems, and just everything that I was looking for. I also made her cry in our first session, which is not like something, but like we just bonded so hard. And I find that like, as someone who's gone to a lot of therapists since I was 4, it's so hard to find a therapist that genuinely is actually listening to you, instead of just listening because it's their job. And I've just, it's really important to find that person it's like going to a massage therapist. Are you going to keep going to someone who's like You know, or you're gonna go to the person that's like, oh yeah, like you're gonna go to the one that cares about.
Right.
So it's really important to just really do your research and find. And honestly, I thought it was gonna be really hard to find a therapist, but it actually was not. Like, you message the place and you're like, hey, I'm interested in procuring the services of this person. Are they? Oh yeah, like. It's not nearly as hard as finding a doctor.
Right.
Which, you know, you'd think more people would be worried about finding a good therapist.
I think it's because it's one of those things that most people don't really think about unless they really have to.
I mean, we live in a society and it's really meant to keep you distracted, to keep you just moving forward on that 9-to-5 hustle, right? And instead of just sitting back and really remembering what matters. And in those moments, that's when you really like hear the thoughts. And are you gonna be able to take those thoughts and like appreciate your life? Or you can take those thoughts and just continue to tear yourself down. And for so long, I tore myself down, and I still have moments, and you have to basically tell yourself to shut the fuck up. And it's the inner saboteur.
And it's kind of crazy because it's you doing it to you, you know?
Exactly. I don't know why you can be your worst enemy sometimes, but you can also be your best ally.
Right. Talking about best ally, music.
Oh my gosh, is music ever the best ally?
So like, I mean, there's the whole, you know, the performance part, but now you DJ too.
Yes.
So how did you get into doing all that?
Oh my God. So I went to Evolve in 2017. Oh my God, that makes me feel so old. It's not even that long ago. But I went there just because I don't even remember why. I was in university. I think we were just trying something new, and it completely just changed my life on how I view the world, made me realize that I didn't want to like be an art student anymore, but that I wanted to like just be me, and like, who was I? Like, it just made me like you see so much art and creativity, and you get to just hear some really cool music that makes you feel these cool emotions. And after that, I just started going to events that interested me. And you start meeting people, and you start going to more festivals. And my partner and I, we work for Black Box Sound Crew. Like, we carry speakers in and out of festivals and events. And for the last 3 years, I've just been around some of the most amazing local promoters that this province has to offer, some of the most amazing, talented performers, DJs, or like performers-wise. Like, there's just so much incredible people out there. And once you just start going out and involving yourself in the scene, it doesn't take long before all of a sudden you're in it and you're a part of it, and you want to see it grow. You want everyone to be happy and safe, and all of a sudden you're no longer just this little rave goblin. You're the rave mom, taking care of people and making sure people are drinking their water and that everyone's having a good, consenting, fun time. And it's just such an eye-opening experience to be around the talent that is Nova Scotia's local music scene. Now, unfortunately, I don't get around the live music scene quite as much as I would have liked. I mean, back in high school, Plan B and the Pavilion, all the live metal shows, that's where my love of music like started, was going to those types of shows. And like emo night, oh my God, it brings me that place of home. And so there's music, all kinds of music that just makes you feel at ease. Like, I swear, like, you know what I mean? You're having a bad day. You're like, you get in your car and you're like, man, I hate my life right now. And then that one song comes on and poof, everything's just so much better.
True,
You're just
true.
vibing.
But like now, it's one thing to do that, to be a rave mom, all that. But DJing, why did you decide to do that?
Well, dating a DJ, who he DJ'd for over 10 years and has thrown his own festivals, and being around a bunch of other DJs who've been there for so long at it, gets to a certain point where I've heard all their songs enough, and I'm like, I want to hear you play this, and they're like, well, I don't want to play that. And I'm like, that's fair, and it's just like, maybe you should play it. And I was like, right, I could do that, I guess. And then I did it, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yes.
And you just get that, like, that feeling when the two songs that you think would go together, and you try it out and it goes and it hits, and you're like, and it just got to the point where so many of my friends are just been so supportive, extremely so supportive, on just getting me out of my comfort zone, constantly reassuring me when I make mistakes, that it's okay, we all make mistakes, because I'm a big overthinker.
Oh my God.
And you make a mistake, in life, kind of is whatever. But if you make a mistake on, a $30,000 sound system that's bumping out so loud to hundreds of people, it's pretty cringy. Like, it makes you cringe pretty hard. But having people there that are constantly reassuring that, it's because I have fun when I go up there. And they're like, you're having so much fun when you're up there that we're having fun. And when people have fun, especially if I'm the cause of it, if people are happy because of something I did, oh my God. Dude, that is heaven. Like, you're on like cloud 9, if you can help somebody out, or if you just make somebody smile, and it's like when at the end of a show, I've had people come up, be like, dude, when you played that song, I haven't heard that in so, or that was the best. Like, me and my friends, we loved it. And you're just there, like, soaking it up like a sponge. Because, like, you're socially awkward as hell, and some random people are in your face, normally a little intoxicated. And they're like, whoa, and you're just like, But the love is there. And it just feels so nice. And I also just love watching other DJs do their thing. It is definitely more my joy. Because as someone who did the flowing performances, that is so much fun, but it's its own separate world. And I am very I'm very feminine, but I'm also very masculine. And I find it's something that I can appreciate, and I will always hype my friends up, because I see that spark in their eyes when they get up on stage and they're flowing. But that spark is in my eyes when I'm DJing.
Right.
When I'm dancing, the only thing that's going through my mind is, oh my God, oh fuck, oh shit, oh no, oh God, but when I'm DJing, it's just quiet, just having fun. Well, it's not that quiet. I'm more like 1, 2, 3, 4, like counting. But you can kind of, but I think it's really good for people to get out and try something that might necessarily not be their sparkle. And once you get out and you try something, all of a sudden you're introduced to something else. You're introduced to new people. Like, trying these new things ultimately is what gets you to where you will want to be. So, because like, if you asked me 5 years ago I was going to be a DJ, I would have laughed. I would have been like, there's no way.
Right.
Me, a DJ, those people are gods. Like, we don't talk to those people. But we're all just people. And it's hard when you're not, if you don't know any DJs, you only go to shows and you only see them, way up there. They and they seem almost like, kind of like assholey. Not that, but you're almost kind of like, oh yeah, like they're the shit because they're a DJ. But like, we're just, most people, are just chilling and they're all so supportive and so inclusive of just me. And it really changed my mind, because you think it's just so gatekeepy and so sceney, and it is, but it's also so inclusive, and there's so much love there, and I just think it's the most fun.
It is fun. It is fun.
And weirdly enough, I started DJing after I got sober.
Oh.
So once I stopped doing the drugs that come with, that, and stopped like wanting to party in that way, that's when I started playing music, funnily enough. Because now when I go to a party, I'm like, I want to play music. And okay, now it's 10 o'clock. I want to go home and go to bed. Like, there's like a shift. Like, not all DJing means drugs and partying.
Mm-hmm.
DJing means music and fun and dancing and just bringing people together.
Yes.
Exactly.
To me, that's my favorite part. Is like, especially when you introduce people to like a song that they're not sure they'll like, and then they love it. It's like magic.
Or if you have a song from like your childhood,
right?
And and they just play it, but they played like a crazy remix of it, and you just like, you almost like go feral. You're like, wow, it blows your mind. Like, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so you have all these kind of, they're all you, right?
I know.
How do you, with all the things you do, how do you balance it all?
Oh my God. I don't really. I mean, life's so chaotic. It's always a balancing act. There are some days where I really need to work on a set, and I really need to practice before a show. And I get up to my deck and my laptop, and I'm like, nothing. And there's no creative juice. And then I'll power clean the whole house. Or I'll go cook like a really good meal. And like, then other days when I need to clean the house, I'm like, actually, I'm just going to play music for like 7 hours and not do anything that I need to do. So it's a terrible balancing act, but it weirdly balances. I find it is as someone with raging ADHD, I'm always doing something. It's the only way that I can relax is to keep doing something or moving forward. So having all these things planned, it kind of keeps me motivated to get up in the morning. If I have something I need to do that day, I'm up 5 hours before I need to do that, getting ready, getting prepped, and 2 hours before I need to do something, I'm pacing in my house waiting. And it's a weird balancing act for sure. But it's also every day things are going to be prioritized differently. And at the end of the day, I don't see myself DJing as a professional career. DJing is a fun thing for me. I see myself being a carpenter as a professional career. I see myself focusing on that. But I think it's really important to not make your entire life about your job.
Right. No, I agree. I totally agree. Oh my God, it's always wonderful chatting with you. I'm going to let you go with this question.
Yes.
What's something
Hit me with
it before you were 17 that plays a huge role in who Jewelz is today?
It's funny because thinking about that question, there's only negative things that really impacted me. And I don't want to touch on those negative things. And then I was like, what's a positive thing that I can think about here? And it hit me, honestly, summer camps.
Oh.
There was a camp called Big Cove. It's a YMCA camp. And my mom sent me there every summer, and they did a leadership camp where for a month you do like a 2-week out trip where you're canoeing from Digby to Cape Breton, the Causeway, and they teach you leadership skills. Wow. You're out there, and as an only child, someone who has bad social skills, getting into those summer camps, honestly, they gave me so many good skills, so many and also as a city kid, to get me out of the city and made me realize how much I love nature. And if it wasn't for that, I feel like I wouldn't be as just down to earth, because that camp, like, they didn't have hot water. So you had to take cold showers. You had to be dirty. And like, as someone who has OCD, it kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I would come back from those camps just a little bit a cooler person. Like, as a kid who's stuck in the city, you're kind of a little shithead. Like, you're just stuck in the city. But if you get out in the woods and for a whole day, like, one of the days you have to completely survive on your own. They bring you food, but like, you're not supposed to talk to anyone. You have to make your own little shelter, and like, to go through those things for 2 weeks, to canoe and camp and have to deal with other people out tripping for 2 weeks, it builds a lot of character. And like, I'll pop a squat anywhere, and like, I'm not frou-frou about stuff, because I was so forced out of my comfort zone. And I just really loved that camp. I recommend any parents look up Big Cove. It is such a good camp. But any type of camps, my mom enrolled me in, got me into like an art tech camp, for instance, got me into like video editing and just little things that my mom did to enhance my, like, getting out there and being creative, made me the person I am today. Because I feel like if I didn't, I would be so unsocialized, and I wouldn't have wanted to go out to a music festival and not shower for 4.5 days. And my life would be so different if I didn't go and do these camps. So maybe that's a lame answer to your question.
It isn't lame. Holy shit. No, because it correlates, right? Like, this happened, so this could happen. I'm going to let you go with a little piece of magic.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, gosh! Oh,
no! So, you're going to write one number between 1 and 60. Do not show me. Once you're done, you can show it to any of the cameras.
Okay.
And the idea is that my magical cards should help me figure out what your number is, hopefully.
Okay. Do I show the camera?
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be in at least one card, but it could be more than one.
Okay.
So I'll need your help, right?
Okay.
Is it in this card?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay. Is it in this one?
No.
Okay, great. Is it here?
No.
Oh, okay. This is getting easier. Is it here?
It is that one, yeah.
Okay. Here.
Yes.
Okay. Is it here?
No.
Oh.
Oh my God.
This is easy. Is it 13?
Yeah! What the fuck?
It's magic. Oh, wait. You're wearing your East Coast Emo Night t-shirt.
I am.
Like we've had. I love Shelling Wolf.
Yes, Shelling Wolf. My best friend.
Before I let you go, do you want to say a little bit about East Coast Emo Night?
Yes, go. Sarah's one of the best people. If you want to support anyone, support Emo Night, because it's so inclusive. And tonight, March 15th, 2025, there is an Emo Night at the Marquee featuring Gentle Jane, who is just absolute heavy on the decks. It's going to be a really fun night if you want to come out and enjoy. If you really like, emo music, this is a safe space. And you're always welcome. And you'll see me there always. So definitely come check it out. I mean, I personally think it's the best event in Nova Scotia, but I'm a little biased, so don't come for me.
Jewelz, it's always great talking to you. Thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome.